Good morning, everybody. It's John from Veganism Kills. It's 7:26 a.m. Sunday, June 14th. Again, let's see veganism in the news. If this is such a positive trend, there should be some kind of positive interaction with society. I'm not seeing it. Okay, this is a story that was very close to becoming a tragedy of immense proportions. Though still a tragedy, there was a little silver lining in this cloud of these two nincompoops you see in front of me right here. Okay, now this is the case where the boy actually had to run away from his parents that engaged in veganism. Okay, whether it's fruitarian or vegetables cooked, it all follows a certain sects of veganism. So there's no denying that veganism is guilty of another tragedy in the making. Now, with this couple in Ohio, the parents of a 13-year-old boy could face 22 years and 6 months in prison after their severely malnourished child ran away from home. The kid had to run away from home. And the reason they asked the kid, the young boy, they can't tell his name, he's a minor, why he ran away from home, because his exact words, if I would have stayed there, I would have died. So a 13-year-old kid is smarter than two adult people who engage in veganism. Unfortunately, he had to be the victim of it to realize that which way he was headed. The child allegedly ran away from home. He was severely malnourished when he was found by law enforcement, weighing just 29 kilograms, according to the Bucharest Telegraph. 29 kilograms is 65 pounds. A 13-year-old boy weighing 65 pounds. My daughter is 9 years old, and she's a girl, and she weighs maybe 30 pounds more than he does, and she's tall for her age. She's not anywhere close to being obese. She's 5'2". Crawford County prosecutor Matt Kroll said the child had to be taken to a hospital where he remains. So basically, these vegan parents put the kid's life in jeopardy. Again, they follow veganism in some formal way. Veganism, again, is harming children. There's no ifs, ands about it. Citing police records, Mr. Krause said the boy was forced to eat a strict vegan diet consisting of almonds, bananas, and grapes. The boy reportedly had to eat everything within 30 minutes, the Bucharest Telegraph reports. According to Crawford County now, the child was put under surveillance to make sure he didn't eat any food other than grapes and nuts. So in other words, the vegan parents monitored what the kid ate and told him, this is what you're going to eat. We catch you eating anything else, there's going to be a problem. And the father beat him. Okay? Because the father didn't want him to be a carnage murderer, maybe. That's what was in his mind. John P. Miller is the boy's biological father, and his wife, Katrina Miller, adopted the child. The boy's biological mother reportedly no longer has custody, so the father has custody over the mother. According to the Bucharest Telegraph, John Miller was also indicted on charges of domestic violence. Of course, he's beating up the boy. The boy doesn't want to eat that. He wants to eat like a normal kid and keep living. Mr. Miller allegedly assaulted his son when he wouldn't eat the way he was told him to eat. So again, here you go. You got parents forcing their child to eat a vegan diet. The kid's refusing to do it, and they're beating the kid. Because in their mind, inside the vegan mind, hey, if this kid eats meat, he's a murderer. He's a murderer. Both John and Katrina Miller have been indicted and face being charged with convictions such as 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of felonious assault, and 2 felony counts of child endangerment. Now, you see what they don't tell you, there's 2 felony counts of child endangerment. How come there's 2 felony counts? one for each of them. There's a surprising twist to this story that you won't see in this article, and I'll show you. The Millers reportedly have a 3-year-old son at home. Okay, this is where you can see how the author of this article, 2 felony counts, explaining it. The Millers reportedly had a 3-year-old son at home. According to WBNS, Mr. Kroll said the boy was so ashamed of how he looked, he wore 3 sweatshirts to cover up his body. Okay? According to Mr. Kroll, the child survived cancer as a newborn, which prompted Mrs. Mell to consult an interstate doctor to the internet and put the child on a naturalist diet. A naturalist diet. Veganism. So they took him to a quack, a vegan quack who practices veganism. Put the child on this diet, he'll be okay. It'll cure his cancer. You know, just like hench herbivore. Oh, veganism has been known to cure 14 different diseases that vegans don't get. It's all bullshit. There is no proof of that. He's another one that you guys need to go flag. The quackery. Some guy goes and gets a what do you call it? A Wednesday certificate, and thinks he knows what he's talking about veganism. The guy can't even read a study, much less quote anything out of it or even understand it. He's another one. His arms were probably 2 to 3 inches at best. I never seen a picture like this that didn't involve an atrocity from the past. In other words, the kid looked like he survived Auschwitz, right? According to the Buckhurst Telegraph, the child was found by law enforcement after he self-help at a home nearby where the residents called police. So the kid escaped, and he had to go, no choice but go to his neighbor's house and have them call the police to help save him. The child was homeschooled, however, he did regularly attend church. According to Crawford County now, the child remains in the hospital. Most of the damage done to this child is probably irreparable. Where he may remain as a patient for some time, while doctors try to implement a proper diet. Now, if veganism is considered a proper diet, why did the doctors find it necessary to take him off the vegan diet and implement the proper diet? You see, this is where I'm getting mad at the doctors. You notice you got to start opening your mouths like they done in Belgium and Italy. Frig them. Frig these social justice warriors. Ted Stamper told WBNS the allegations of his daughter Katrina starving the 13-year-old boy aren't true. They told him to eat, Mr. Stamper said. Mr. Stamper alleges the boy refused to eat, and when he did, the boy would throw it back up. Mr. Stamper admitted he did not witness this. Rather, the parents told him the boy was making himself sick. Oh, that's veganism. He didn't do it right. There you go. There it goes. He didn't do it right. He was throwing up the food. He had some kind of condition. Gee, in the hospital, the kid has no problem. This is why they're going to go to jail for a long time. Because when he's at the hospital and he's eating everything, inhaling everything they gave him. Now let's go to the second part that they really didn't go over. Okay? Why it is 2 felony counts of child endangerment. You see? Because, vegans can't do anything, in small amounts. They gotta really explode it. Okay? This is the same kid. Severely malnourished boy, 13, escapes home after being forced on a vegan diet. Parents charged. Now, it'll go over to rehash the other story, but what the other story leaves out, this kid was found miles away by residents in Golion, Crawford County. So he had to run away. 65 pounds. There goes his weight. And the boy wasn't eating. Yeah, sure he wasn't eating. Okay? He had childhood cancer. He was cured, but they went and sought out a vegan naturalist. A quack. A quack. The diet was killing him. The diet that the vegan quack, who filed veganism, almost killed the boy. Okay? He has to remain in the hospital for a month. That's the vegan. There goes the vegan diet. There goes veganism, making our kids healthy. Double thumbs up to you dumbass vegans. You're lucky I didn't know the kid. Because if I would have been related to that kid or he would have came to my house, your dad would have seen me knocking on the door. And he would pray that the cops got there before I did. I was a kid that grew up in a foster home. I know exactly how this kid feels. Okay, I know exactly. That's why I would go out on a limb for a child that's abused. That's why. And then you guys sit here in this little vegan fantasy land while kids are getting abused and worse, dying, and then you sit there. And this is what it is. They don't even deny that the kids are dying on the vegan diet. They turn around and say, "Well, you guys do the same." You're like, "What the fuck?" I go, "You show me where a child forced on an omnivore diet died exactly before because of the diet. You show me that. You show me where the kid was forced on an omnivore diet and had to run away from home and was 65 pounds. We do the same. Well, then show it. You know you're lying. You know you are. I know you're lying. You're not fooling anybody. You're not persuading anybody with your weak, wicked ways. Now, this is the part I was talking about where a lot of people overlook is that the Millers also had a 3-year-old child and were subsequently indicted by a grand jury of 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of felony assault, 2 felony counts of child endangerment, and a misdemeanor count of child endangerment. The last, which is in relation to the 3-year-old who was allegedly underweight. So they were feeding the second kid, though the first kid was on his way out to die, yet he had to run away. That didn't deter them from killing the 3-year-old. Vegans, their empathy. But hey, they saved the chicken. Now, John was additionally indicted on a charge of domestic violence based on the claims he committed assault on the 13-year-old when he wouldn't eat the way they told him to eat, Carl said. This is what all vegans are getting to when they're coming in the restaurants and yelling at people, "Stop eating meat, you're murderers." They're one step away from assaulting people. Because this is the standard operandus modi of all of these vegans. If you don't do what they want, they're going to resort to violence. They've already been trespassing on farmers' property, okay? Telling them they're stealing their animals, livestock that they paid for. And first of all, you vegans, those animals are bred so we don't deplete nature. In other words, if we breed our own animals, chickens and cows, well, we don't have to go into nature and start digging through a fowl's nest and taking the eggs and depleting the whole population of wild animals. We're not going out there hunting bison and depleting the whole herd. We're letting them be. Their numbers have gone up. We're actually contributing. If you're a meat eater, you're actually contributing to the recovery of nature from those exact principles or habits that we had in the past. When we started breeding our own animals, we breed what we need. In other words, if we need to eat 3 cows, we breed 3 cows. We don't go out and shoot a deer. Okay? Convicted of all charges, the teenage parents would face more than 22 years in prison. Their bond was set at $500,000. Now you see this, what needs to happen now to these vegans. If I were these 2 parents right here, right? The first thing I would say, well, we went to one of these homeopathic doctors and he prescribed this diet to us as being 100% safe for all stages of life. And we actually fed it to our 3-year-old. If the state allows these quacks to operate and I follow their advice, it actually shouldn't be the vegan parents' fault. It should be the trend of veganism where they have these pseudo doctors, pseudo scientists making false claims that the diet is good for all stages of life, that it's completely 100% nutritious. They should be thrown in fucking jail so they don't do any more damage. And all these YouTubers, they need to be flagged. YouTube needs to review their account. Do you have any credentials as a nutritionist? Yeah. Whether they say yes or no, go into the experts and say, is what they're stating, the doctors, is what they're stating uh, absolutely true? Go to a master practitioner, a master of public health. What's her name? Sally Crawdhow or something like that. It's her last name. Go ask her. That's her job. Is the vegan diet good for people? And she'll tell you no. Why? Because it's full of toxics. There's no denying it. You got oxalates and all that food that you're chomping down. One orange has 29 milligrams of oxalates. And then you got Freely running around drinking a dozen of oranges for breakfast, run through a blender. And she's telling you it's okay. And then you got the people imitating her. Oh, look, my stomach is flat. Yeah, of course it's flat. Your organs are shrinking. Your whole renal system is under attack. You're malnourished. Your body has to cope with the toxins, and then it has to cope with starvation. And then you wonder why we look at you and we laugh because you look like scarecrows. And then you're bragging that you're epitome of health. I had one guy, I'm 55 years old. There was one guy in the gym bragging he was vegan, right? So I said, yeah, that's nice. I'm 55 years old. He was about 32 years old. So I had a 50-pound weight in my hand. He said, can I use it? I handed it to him. He almost friggin' toppled over. And then I see Hench Herbivore, who is much younger than me, struggling with 245 on the bench. I'm 55. I work out with that. I could still lift that more than he can. And then you're telling me that we don't see something wrong? And then the children dying? Oh, that's not veganism's fault. Well, the court system said it was. The court system sent the vegan parents to jail for murder. They followed veganism. The child died. Veganism is the direct cause of the child's death. Unless you want to go to court. If any of you vegans want to take me to court, let's go. And while you're at it, don't forget to bring your lawyer because I'm going to turn around and sue you for slander. You calling everybody who eats meat a murderer. You say it 1,000 times a day on YouTube. What you said to John Venus. He's a murderer because he's going back to eat meat. He tortures the animals. You accused him of bestiality and all kinds of crap. You're trying to make the guy out to be Marquis de Sade. But when somebody points facts to you where the veganism is responsible for killing several children, oh, that's not true. Oh, you're evil. Not veganism. Well, there you go. Once again, vegans. Keep it up. And every day, that's going to be my post, and I'm going to show every day a different child or a different person that's been taken out by veganism, either their health or their life. Take your pick, because she's done both. There's so many cases. I'm going to probably have enough stuff here to do a video every day of the year. But I'll try to put one up every 3 days. Stop accusing people who eat meat of murder when your people have been murdering people through a diet that's malnourishing, causing massive physical problems for everybody on it. That's why everybody drops out. And all you do is lie. You lie. You cover up. You obfuscate. You fog. You obscure. You're not Machiavelli. All right. I'm out of here.